Now time for our starting grid for Minimax, race 4 of the meeting, heat number 1. So it will be Jacob Ashcroft from the United Kingdom and Estonia's Nikita Lubimov on the front row. Lucas Order and Albert Friend on row 2. Then it's Zdeněk Babicek and Max Endicott rounding out row 3. Maxim Bobrishov and Oliver Warner, row 4 with Cole Denham and Felipe Reyes rounding out the top 10. Patrikas Džokius from Lithuania and Rory Armstrong, row 6. Then we have Jakub Kubera and Angelina Simons-Torres on row 7. Alexander Van Meeuwen, Christian Segerson, Kai Clark, Len Abbas, Vite Kubera and Vic van Kampenhout round out the top 20. Then it's Adrien Stions, Bran van der Weyken. And we've got Ryan Gandor, another one of the Canadian contingent, competing this weekend, and Jeff Verbeek on row number 12. Andreas Jellerup, Sigurd Subert, Fredriksson, Kieran Stewart, Isaac Barker, Unto Olavi Lakonen, Charlie Kitely and Ryan Rivers rounding out the 31-strong grid. So these drivers will be competing for a ticket for an entry ticket for this year's Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy that will be taking place in July of this year. So it will be the last week of July, concluding on the 29th of July. We'll also be giving a ticket away in the third round of the championship at Captain de Fagne in the second weekend of July for the race weekend for the event winner. So as with E20, it will be a 7-minute plus an additional lap race. Right. Slight problem here for Vic van Kampenhout. So he is in the repair area at the moment. If that cart can be rectified before the start gets going, then he will start at the end of the pre-grid and then will be released when the field is shown to go racing. Red lights back on the starting gantry. It's been very nice having this wonderful April sunshine here at the Home of Champions, as the drivers now are in their rolling start formation. Good to see. Vic van Kampenhout will be there and ready once the race start has gotten underway. Drivers making their way out of the final corner. Ashcroft and Lubimov on the front row. They split, head into the tram lines. The revs start to rise. It is a full start that's being called. We are going to go round for another formation lap. So the Minimax drivers have got themselves into a very tidy formation. And I have to give a shout out to Vic van Kampenhout for being so patient once we had the full start called just then. Once again, it is Ashcroft, Lubimov, Stoddard, Friend, Babicek, Endicott, Bobrishov, Warner, Denholm and Felipe Reyes running at the top 10. Now out of the tram line, into the tram lines for the second time. Revs rise and lights are out. We're underway. Good start by the pole sitter, as Albert Friend looking to make his move up the inside through into second position. A little bit of a run wide through the runoff area by several drivers. They can use that on the opening lap. Too wide at multiple points below the top 5. Ashcroft leads away. Albie Friend into second position. As there's a bit of a moment, and that's going to be nearly 4 wide coming out of turn number 6. Drivers swarming all over the back ends of each other going through into turn number 7. Vic van Kampenhout is away and has got some clean air, so the youngster from Belgium in the 124 can start to push. We'll see how far up the order he gets in the next 6 minutes and a quarter. But the top three at the moment are Ashcroft, Friend, Lubimov. Fourth, it's Babacek. Fifth, it's Denon. Sixth, it's the 188 of Max Endicott from the United Kingdom. As all nearly 3 wide coming out of turn number 12. And that would have involved, that was going to be the 107 Felipe Reyes. Christian Segerson from Denmark. I could recognise his race overalls a mile off because he's wearing the Team Denmark outfit. So good to see that the opportunity for those drivers to represent their nations proudly is such a wonderful thing to see, especially in the younger drivers as well. But Ashcroft is not quite getting away at the moment. He's about a quarter of a second up the road from Albert Friend. Nikita Lubimov, now these days running with Buvin Power, is about 6/10 off after the opening lap. As there is a move, that is from Rory Armstrong on Max Endicott. That is for 6th position. And Max Endicott has got teammate from Argenti Motorsport, Oliver Warner, not too far behind. The team run by Danny Sweeney. So 2 minutes down, 5 to go. And Ashcroft has got a lead. It's 3/10 now. And he's also put in the fastest lap of the race. Babacek going on the offensive. Well, he had Cole Denham actually up the inside of him. So the youngest of 4 siblings. Still plying his trade in the younger classes, but still giving a good account of himself. And he's got Rory Armstrong, who was second last week in the B&L Karting Series opening round. A little bit further back. Well, Charles Kitely has got himself way up the order, and he's borderline on the top 15. And another overtake there. Rory Armstrong is carrying the momentum through from last weekend. He's just got through on Denny Babacek. And now he is up to 5th position. They've got Cole Denham. He's got a little bit of an expanse to close between him and the drivers in front. It's about a second between 3rd and 4th on the previous lap. And now it's just over 1 second. Well, make that 1.15 seconds. Endicott and Warner still holding on to the last 2 positions, and now Endicott up the inside of Babacek. Warner was trying to get through. Babacek tried to get the undercut on Max Endicott, and the Czech Republic driver will have the inside line going into turn number 7 as Rory Armstrong is really pressurising Cole Denham for that 4th place. Armstrong's got the wind beneath his side pods at the moment, and he sends it through turn 9. That seems to be the youngster's sweet spot for overtaking, as Denny Babacek is having a massive battle, and Warner goes around the outside of Endicott through into turn number 11, and he's made it through. Of all the places, turn 11. That was an absolutely brilliant move from Oliver Warner. Gets through on Max Endicott and now goes for Denny Babacek. And then Felipe Reyes has made it a quartet to the party. And Babacek is all the way down into 9th place. Felipe Reyes now up the inside through turn 3 on Max Endicott. Felipe Reyes has made this party come alive. And then you've got a few other drivers not too far behind, including the likes of the 197. That is Lucas Tordeur. And then the 129 from JM Kart Club VACR from the Czech Republic, Jakub Kubera, running on the Sodi Kart chassis. Ashcroft has started to extend his lead to about close to 7/10 of a second, as we have just under 2.25 minutes still remaining on the timer. Might be closer to a second at this point, but the battle is still waging on. Felipe Reyes now past Oliver Warner. Great moves from the young Dutchman over the past couple of laps. So at the moment, Ashcroft leads by nearly 8/10 ahead of Friend. Lubimov rounds out the top 3. Rory Armstrong in 4th. Cole Denham in 5th. Felipe Reyes in 6th. Then it's Oliver Warner, Max Endicott, Denny Babacek and Lucas Tordeur. No, make that Babacek's in 10th. Tordeur has got through on the 115. So a lot of changes have been happening. And then the 176, that is Kai Clark, has just had Angelina Simons Torres and Charles Kitely go through. Now, Kitely had a very difficult qualifying, but he's making it up through the race. The youngster from Great Dunmow in Essex. A minute and a quarter still remains. There are battles to be had as Warner is trying to put the offensive pressure onto Felipe Reyes from the Netherlands in for sixth position. And at the moment, all 31 drivers are still circulating around this 1,360 metre 12-turn clockwise circuit. As looks like Charles Kitely was trying to get the elbows out there. There's Alexander Van Meeuwen behind the back of that train. And there is Angelina Simons Torres, who's just been passed by George Gibbons' motorsport teammate, Maxim Bobrishov, who ventured over to Marienburg last year, competing in this class. And showed a very good account of himself, did the youngster from the UAE. So Lucas Stoddard has got past Max Endicott, and Max now drops to 9th position. Has got Jakub Kubera not too far behind. Been a difficult opening heat for Denny Babacek. So with 3 seconds to spare, we get another lap in the book. So we're on to lap number 8 out of 9, and there's the move. That is third place. The charging youngster from Northern Ireland. Downpatrick's very own Rory Armstrong manages to catch and pass Estonia's Nikita Lubimov, and there is Scotland's Kieran Stewart in the pit lane, I'm afraid. It's not been a good one for the youngster, I'm afraid. And that is his first heat done and dusted. But Rory Armstrong has been absolutely flying. Not just him, but also Felipe Reyes as well from the Netherlands. They both have been doing standout jobs, not having the greatest qualifying, but they've made up for it in the race pace. So the timer did expire 45 seconds ago. The last lap board is now being prepared. Jacob Ashcroft, last time around, had a 9/10 of a second advantage over Albert Friend. Friend might have closed that gap ever so slightly on this penultimate lap, and it does go down to 0.785 of a second. Rory Armstrong, Nikita Lubimov, Cole Denham, Felipe Reyes, Oliver Warner, Lucas Stoddard, Max Endicott gets back up into 9th, going on to the final lap of the race ahead of Jakub Kubera from the Czech Republic. Then it's the likes of Babicek, Bobrishov, Simons Torres, Van Meeuwen and Kai Clark round out the top 15, but Kai Clark might be in a little bit of danger because Charles Kitely is closing in the 164 for that 15th position. So, Jacob Ashcroft has led from lights out to checkered flag, and the youngster from Dan Holland Racing picks up another victory to his tally this season so far, 9.43 tenths ahead of Albert Friend. Rory Armstrong makes his way up to finish 3rd at the end of that, ahead of Nikita Lubimov and Cole Denham running out the top 5. 6th, Felipe Reyes from the Netherlands. 7th, Lucas Stoddard from Belgium, with another 2 Brits. 6 Brits in the top 10, with Max Endicott and Oliver Warner, with Jakub Kubera running at the top 10 representing the Czech Republic. Then it was Denny Babacek, Alexander Van Meeuwen, Angelina Simons Torres, the only Spanish representative here this weekend. Then Kai Clark and Charles Kitely ran at the top 15. Maxim Bobrishov from the United Arab Emirates ends up 16th, ahead of Christian Segerson. Patrikas Jokius from Lithuania. Ryan Gandor from Canada up to 19th at the flag, ahead of Sigurd Stubberup Fredriksson. Ran van der Weyken, Ryan Rivers, Adrian Stions, Vite Kubera, Len Abbas, Jeffrey Beek, Andres Jererup, Unto Olavi Lakonen, and Isaac Barker round out the 29 that finished all 9 laps of racing, with Vic van Kampenhout ending up 30th, and Kieran Stewart, unfortunately, retiring on lap number 6. So with a combined 31 Minimax drivers on the grid for this weekend's opening round of the Euro Trophy, Concentration and focus was paramount before the drivers got underway. We would have to do a second formation lap due to an initial false start, with Vic van Kampenhout having to wait patiently at the end of the dummy grid to be released. But the second time of asking saw the drivers get under. That was the false start, where the drivers would have to go back for another tour of the 1,360 metre circuit. The second time into the tram lines was a successful effort as the field spread out as soon as the lights went out, with a few drivers fanning out here and there. Some great battles up and down the order, including with the likes of Jakob Kubera and Felipe Reyes, who started making their way through the order. Top three started breaking away, where there was a lot of skirmishes and battles all the way through the order. Cole Denham getting through on Denny Babicek for fourth position, with Rory Armstrong holding station in fifth place. Some good moves from Charles Kitely, especially on the likes of Maxim Bobrishov, where they actually were scuffing sidewalls with each other going down the Europalan in the early part of the race. Rory Armstrong would showcase his skills at turn number 9, first getting past Denny Babicek in the 115 on the Paralin chassis. Start chasing those in front, including getting past the likes of Cole Denham later on. Max Endicott gave a good account of himself, also getting past on Denny Babicek. They went side by side down the Europalan. Then Oliver Warner decided to show what he was capable of as he made his way a little bit further up the order, with Felipe Reyes trying to get through. But this move here, where Warner did the ultimate sort of like, I'm going to get up the inside, and then the floodgates open. Denny Babicek had no other alternative but to lose 3 places. Very good afternoon, very good morning to Karol Stout watching. Hope you're keeping well. Plenty of moves up and down the order. Angelina Simons Torres from Spain doing a very good job in the 130, battling away with the 176 of Kai Clark and the 164 of Charles Kitely. Great. Well, there was a little bit of a moment there. Now, that was when Charles Kitely went over the back bumper of Kai Clark, going through into turn 2. And then again, Kai Clark would lose out 3 positions, because he had Alexander Van Meeuwen coming out of the final coming out of turn 6, and then Simons Torres. But this was the move that pretty much secured third place for Rory Armstrong, youngster from Downpatrick County down in Northern Ireland, getting past Tallinn's young Estonian hard charger. There was Kieran Stewart, and the left front tyre not having a good time at all. Something stuck to it, I think, but it was Jacob Ashcroft that would secure a comfortable victory in that one, ahead of Albert Friend, with Rory Armstrong, Nikita Lyubimov and Cole Denham rounding out the top 5 overall.